So we're gonna break down the Texas high school football scoreboard week one. Geyer played Rockwell Heath 47-14. I thought Heath would at least score a little bit more. The Geyer team looks pretty well. North Shore number 5 played the Woodlands 49-21. That was a pretty good win for North Shore. Atascocita 37-0. Dickinson's from the Galveston County area to the 23 district. I'm surprised they lost that bad. That Atascocita team plays Katy next week. Lake Travis versus Martin. 31-39, Martin wins. Martin's from Arlington School. That's where Miles Garrett's from. If y'all don't know, Lake Travis is pretty known as well. Lake Travis hasn't been the same team since they beat that North Shore team and they won state that one year. I feel like Prosper versus Trinity, 17-13. I don't know if Prosper's still in the Island District, but if they are, I don't see them winning that district. I mean, they are 22. They might. Trinity's a good squad. You know, they'll win some games for sure. Bridgepoint, they were a Fort Bend team out of the Sugarland area. Fort Bend, they played Westlake, the number one team in Texas. It was 44-14. I would have to see when they scored those 14. If they're like late points, then they're nothing. But if they're during the game, then those matter. I mean, I see number one teams win 63-0. So Eastwood plays South Lake Carroll 66-14. The Eastwood teams from El Paso, South Lake Carroll looks pretty good. Oh, St. Augustine, a New Orleans school played DeSoto. They played over there in Oregon at that Nike Stadium. It was 35-10. DeSoto has a big game coming up playing against St. Francis. We'll see how that goes. Alito played Paris a Pascal. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. My bad. Okay, so Alito is pretty known. They scored 1,000 points one year. They had 91 points. The other team even followed it. They were booing them in that game. That shit was crazy. They had Jonathan Gray that one year. They went in state. They played Lamar. Let me know if some of y'all remember that. Katy versus Clear Springs, number 10 versus Clear Springs, 49-16. Clear Springs, I got a couple brothers who graduated from that school, so I'm pretty sure they should win some games. They're in the same district as that Dickinson school. Katy has some pretty good running backs. We'll see how they go. I've been to a couple Katy games. I've been to some big ones. I've seen them win state before. Pretty known. China Springs 38-20. St. John Bosco versus Allen. That shit was. I mean, St. John Bosco and all those California teams, I'm not. It is what it is. They're good schools, but they're damn near like college schools, man. I mean, the Allen team is not the same team Kyler Murray played on, so I seen, Atascocita popped Allen last year. And Atascocita is not winning state, so with that being said, I wish it would have been a better team playing them. Conroe versus Katy, how do you say it, Pateau? Um, so this Katy team is a newer team. They just came in and they've been winning a lot of ball games. So let me know where they're located at, or like, did they pull some kids from Cinco Ranch, Tompkins? That's a newer one. It's not that new anymore. Or from the Katy school. Let me know how they got good. But 14-3 versus Conroe. I don't think that Conroe team's that good, so they will be challenged this year. Um, Longview versus Boyd. Longview won state that one year. If some of y'all remember, Haynes King's the quarterback. I think he might be the quarterback for A&M now. 36-10. Number 14 team. That was a good victory. Carthage versus Kilgore. 45-10. Stephenville versus Midlothian Heritage. 49-42. That was a pretty good ball game. Algarve versus Melissa. 37-18. Gilmore versus Chapel Hill. 51-27. King versus Crosby. Wow. 63-7. King has a very big game next week. Hopefully they get that dub. They're ripping out of the east side of Houston. Duncanville versus South Oak Cliff. This was probably game of the week. I don't know. I'd have to look back up to see if there was a better game, but this one was crazy, man. Duncanville versus South Oak Cliff. 23 versus 10. That's a difference. Welcome to 6A. Lovejoy versus College Station. 52-27. Both of those are ranked. Lovejoy won. Well, we're going to do a breakdown of the games coming up for week two, and then we'll break down the scores from week two as well. This is Texas High School Football, and thank y'all for joining me.